So everything's fucked, right? Yeah. The monetary system, it's a sham. Wait, it's always been a sham. And nobody wants to hear it. Thousands of years. Same trick. It's evil. It's evil. Government is enslavement. Far worse than that, it's enslavement of the mind. Politics is a charade. It's not even a good play. It's uh it's like watching Ren and Stimpy or some terrible cartoon rerun over and over and over again. Everything is so predictable, predictably terrible. Society could not get any dumber. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people have been saying it for thousands of years, and it just keeps getting worse. And everybody who doesn't pay attention, if they hear anything along these lines, they're like, huh? Why are you being weird? And you, if anyone ever hears or sees this, my assumption is you have to resonate with it a little bit or you wouldn't be here. You're like, how do you not see it? How do you not see that every single thing is fucked? It's literally so far that government has pressured those to pressure their peers to not take care of their own bodies, to not care what nutrition goes in their bodies, to not have judgment of themselves in any way, to not have judgment of the education or the standards of what goes into the minds of the kids, to basically hand over the kids and hand over themselves in every way to a system that's way beyond politics and government, but is basically on a very low level a mousetrap that sucks the energy out of folks and keeps them from trying to live their own life ever. Everything's poison. There are big time enemies out there, and everybody who doesn't see it supports the enemy, so everybody but you is basically the enemy. And if you hold that position, it's not 100%, but more than likely, you have a strong enough awareness and a strong enough mind and a strong enough heart to not live within a deep cognitive dissonance all the time. So you're probably not super wealthy because you probably haven't taken the swings of what you feel like it requires for you to do that. So then there's that extra pressure of, I hate this system and it's got me. I'm the only one that can see that it's got me. It's got everybody else, but they don't care. It's got me. Fucking fuck. Double fuck. Triple fuck. And the technology is watching us everywhere. And they're trying to give us shots. They. There is a real they. Obviously, you can hear in my voice that there's a different tone coming. There's layers. And the higher the layers, the more ethereal, excuse me, or the more the higher the layers, the more spacious. And therefore, within the more spacious layers, the more ability to look at things from different points of view and to accumulate a wider angle. The lower the layers, the more tight. So, in the very lowest layers, you might have, somebody with great oppression and yet still great wisdom of whatever time period. Doesn't really matter. But say that they're aware, say that they're in India, like 20 years before Gandhi started becoming a political figure. And they're just absolutely in unending poverty. And yet they're not out in the mountains or the jungle, they're living within society. But they're also not focusing on trying to do everything they can to separate themselves from their daily existence. They're living their life. They're not trying to change it. They've accepted it because they're taking a very acute angle. It's the angle of the serpent. It sees very, very clearly exactly what's in front of it and what's close to it. And then way on the other side, you have the angle of the eagle, who sees in and out and in a very large, wide angle. From above, though, not from being in the environment. And most people are caught in the middle. When you're at the very bottom, when you're where the serpent is, you don't really get upset about anything that's not literally in your daily environment right now. You just get used to it. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of people pulling a bunch of shenanigans. Everything is screwed up. But right now, I'm sitting on my porch drinking some coffee, and later I'll have some orange juice, and after that, I'll have some whiskey. And I'll do the same thing tomorrow. And then the next day after that, I'll go to work, and I'll come home, and I'll sit on my porch. Like it takes the weight off of attempting to change everything in the middle because they already know. They know. They know enough that they don't need to know the details. And even if somebody gives them the whole story about the details in certain instances, they're not going to go try to change it. Not because there's something wrong with them or right about them, just because they live in a small, dense layer. There's no benefit to them to attempt to become they. So if they're not attempting to become they, they're going to continue living their life. They're used to this. No better, no worse. And then the other side of that is what I'm getting to is most live in the middle. Me, I'm talking to a former version of me, or a version of me that may appear and say, look at all this shit. That's the guy in the middle. And then the guy in the middle wants to change everything, wants to like almost take control of everything, wants to fix everything, wants to point out all the problems everywhere. The thing is, the guy in the middle is not in control of himself. The guy or gal at the very bottom is much more in control of themselves than the one in the middle. What gets the one in the middle to keep growing is start to perceive things when they're in the middle from the bird's eye view. So now you're stuck in the middle. Everything is fucked. Every single thing. Everything's a trap. The whole legal system's upside down. Jordan Maxwell, whatever, right? Sit. Breathe. See your whole life from above as a map of where you started and where you're going, and it can only be a one-way direction map. But you can go anywhere you want, but the end is over there, or it's supposed to be, and the beginning is definitely back there. You can try as hard as you want to loop back around and try to go that way. It's not going to work that well. But for most people, they end up going like this. And eventually, and then they look back and like, ah. So what if you're in the middle and you're in the middle of the layers of life, but you're also in the middle of your journey forward, and you just stop. Just stop for a second. Stop the friends. Stop the family. Stop the character. Stop the day. Stop the problems with body or society. Stop even trying to fix yourself. Now go up. Float up above your map. Look at yourself as the character there, however it looks. The real you, figurine, a cartoon, however you see yourself, you're up above. Way up above. Just keep going up. Way up above. You're mountains higher. You're 30,000 feet above. And you can easily zoom in just with your mind, your eye, and see yourself. And zoom out and look around. Where did you come from? Where is your map supposed to, where's your destination supposed to be? Where have you been meandering? You found some information out about how everything's screwed up. That very well may have been part of your journey forward. But ask yourself, honestly, sit up there and look at the character of you and ask yourself honestly, am I putting my energy into going to where I'm meant to go? When I'm stressing about whatever's going on with they and how I'm trapped? Where do you feel? Genuinely sit with your heart. Close your eyes, sit up there. Where do you feel your character is drawn to? What's it do when it stresses and it feels like it's trapped? For me, it seems like a frantic run around, a dog chasing its tail, then eventually a dog doing a circle and laying down and trying to sleep it off and getting up. And that might happen one time, that might happen 2,000 times in a row. Until one day, shake it off. Oof. All right. The weather has changed. It's brisk out here. I feel good. Not that I intentionally throw it out as the character of the dog there, but that I'm not thinking about it that day as the character of the dog. Woke up, weather changed. All right, now I'm going forward. Now going forward without thinking of anything, I'm open to the path of this magical realm. I'm not attached to the collective unconscious that keeps telling me whatever it is that I'm focusing on. What I'm focusing on. Maybe if you are focusing on how everything is screwed up all the time, what you focus on, you get more of. What you fear, you feed. Maybe you're playing both sides of that coin against yourself. What you fear, you feed. You can transmute that. You can use that. That's a beneficial scenario for you once you comprehend that you flip the coin, comes up fear. What you fear, you feed. So you see that, you say, oh, feedback. Cool. Feedback to me. You don't dive in unconsciously. Lower unconscious gets you, keeps you tight, and you fall underwater in the default mode. You fall. Now you're in mind boxes of fear. What are you doing? You're going, shit, there's so many things to do. I feel terrible. There's so many things wrong. Nothing is right. I'm all alone. This life sucks. How do I make it better? But I feel terrible. I need to do something to turn myself off. Before you get there, you flip that coin and it comes up fear. What you fear, you feed. It's just a guy like Uncle Sam in the, I think it's the 30s, saying, we want you, pointing at you. It's just a guy on the coin going, fear, pointing right at you. It's just you working with this place unconsciously going, oh, that's what I need to address now. It's feedback. Whatever feels like fear when that coin flips, oh, okay. That's now, because I kept myself from going underwater. I took a breath. I saw the fear. Okay. Thank you, fear. I acknowledge that. Now I'm going to go address that. I'm going to go address how to use that and beneficially remove that limiting belief. Remove whatever it is that's my next most efficient and true step to my destination. The end goal is what my heart is focused on, but my attention and my friction within my focus is going to the next step. And because I flipped and it came up fear, that's telling me address this inner fear. Just don't run from it. Just address it, allow it to be, release it, and move on. And get good at that. Just get real good at that. And what you focus on, you get more of. You flip it and it comes up focus. Ah, yeah, go, 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 go. Now, listen to my heart. Listen, start with the heart. When it's the opportunity to focus, start with the heart. Allow the heart's imagination to clearly show you one thing. And you focus directly on that. Focus is intention of the imagination of the heart, intention, attention of the mind on the intention of the heart. That is focus. That's what focus is. What you focus on, you get more of. So you're going to get more of it. Now, apply the friction of you in this spiritual embodiment to your focus. To your focus. Apply it. It feels great. Apply it. Do it. And then you'll get even more of it. Because the more friction you apply to it, the more that you're magnetizing the force, like the dynamo, to spin faster and bigger. The more it's going to come to you faster and bigger because you're going to it faster and bigger. Sorry. The more you focus and the more you apply friction, the faster you'll get whatever it is. So that's an incredible opportunity in everything, every way, in every little molecule of every microsecond of everything you do. That may seem a little heavy, but basically everything you do is one side of that coin flip. What you focus on, you get more of. Cool. Let's chill. All right. Allow myself to forgive and let go of everything. Start from nothing. Listen to my heart. My heart's imagination will show me one thing without the mind. The heart's imagination will show me one thing. Then I hold that one thing with absolute intention. I'm focusing on it with my heart completely. Then the attention of my mind grabs onto that. And it does not let go. Now my mind and my heart focusing on one thing. Apply the friction of the body to that immediately. In the other scenario, flip the coin. Just in anything you're doing, you're about to say something. You're about to take a turn when you're driving. You're thinking of looking up this thing. You're thinking of doing this thing. You're about to start a workout. Anything you do, it's always a coin flip. Every single thing. You don't have to overanalyze it or get anxious about paying attention to everything too much. Just be aware of that. You're getting a result every single time you do something. It's always an opportunity. It's always an offering from that opportunity. When it comes up, fear, great, same thing. Chill. Okay, I've let go of everything. I forgive everything. Now, what was that fear that came up? Okay, it's not me. All right, that's the thing I can address. Let me now go address that thing. Let me address that thing within the issues of my mind box. Why am I holding on tight to that? Or what am I holding on tight that is the essence of that fear? Or depending on what comes up, because it's never another person or scenario, it's the essence of that. So if some old conversation came up that made you feel tight or whatever, what's the essence of that all the way through? And just get back to allowing it to be, allowing it. Realizing that whatever that fear is, it needs to be accepted, it needs to be addressed. The ego of you that's trying to do a great job, the alter ego of that is the devil in your mind, the court gesture, showing you everything it can to get your attention, distraction and resistance. Distraction and resistance are what it shows you so often because You don't live in a manner that serves the ego. And so those are things that get attention. It wins. It's not trying to do anything, it's trying to get your attention. But you give it attention out of fear because we mostly live imbalanced. It's not your fault. It's not the ego's fault, which is also you. The ego is wonderful. The devil does not exist. But I use that term because it is the alter ego of the ego. It's just showing you what it thinks you'll pay attention to because it's completely stressed out. And that's an opportunity for you to go within. Okay, this fear is appearing. It's not 100%, but it's very likely it's my ego's alter ego, which I call Jigo, my ego, or the court jester. So he's a little wily ninja. And he's showing me all types of shit. And I go underwater, and it takes me however long, 3 seconds, 30 minutes, whenever, to realize, oh man, I've been feeling terrible. Oh, I've been underwater again. Usually it's great. Sometimes it's not great. Sometimes I'm all types of levels of chemical and mental and physical frustrated because I allowed myself to get there. It's a process. What helps? But every single time, no matter what, no matter how perfectly you're dealing with the side of the coin of fear that shows up, or you completely are oblivious to it, or you saw it coming and you fell what feels like victim to it, but really it's just you playing in the game of you. All of it is a learning process. It just might not feel like it's a learning process quick enough for what you desire because you feel like you have the answers. So you want the answers just to be implemented now. The tricky thing, because you're looking at like a video game. When people say simulation, this life is a video game, whatever. That's a bunch of simpleton shit. You are the author. You are the actor and director. You are the audience. And you are the awareness of the real you being aware of all three of those positions. So you really are the majority of you is the fourth position. But you identify with the characters depending on the individual of whatever is most ingrained in your lower unconscious. So for me, I identify with the author's perspective quite a bit. And then I would say, secondly, the audience. Thirdly, the actor or director. Most people identify with the audience first. Well, there's a good portion that identify with the actor, director first as well. Most don't identify with the author first. The goal is that we are participating in our life, and everyone sees that they are participating in our life. If that life that they're participating in is that of the character. But once the desire for them is to participate beyond the character, that's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets like almost like slimy. Like I know the rules, but I can't keep grabbing it. It's too slippery. I just keep sliding off these monkey bars. I'm good at monkey bars usually. I don't know why in this dream world I can't hold on to them. Keep going back underwater. We're going through a very interesting and special time in the unfolding of the cosmic and spiritual embodiment ages, I suppose. What this place is, the changing of this place, and the changing of us, and the changing of the individual's ability to recognize itself, which has always been there and it's not new, but in the life pattern that has been accustomed to for a few hundred years now, it's coming to a threshold. And many are very, very interested in tapping into that which is very difficult to describe. It's basically the fourth stage. It's the real you. It's the awareness. And then we want to stay tapped into the awareness and grow that. And it's almost like we forget that, well, we still have to master being the author and the actor and the audience. It works together. Lots of times we garner certain amounts of information and then we want to press the button, like in the video game, and say next level. And then when we wake up and this is our real life and we're like, wow, I'm better than this. How do I make this problem? How do I do this? How am I manifesting this thing inaccurately again? There's layers, levels. All that stuff is being in the middle. There's nothing good or bad about it. It's just these are not issues of being at the bottom. And they're not really issues of being at the top. It's not a snake's issue. It's not an eagle's issue. It's the creatures in the middle. They're in the thick of it. They're getting eaten and looking for something to eat every single day in the woods, in the jungle, in the prairie. They're mid-sized animals. They're out there going after it. It's not the reptiles. It's not the birds. It's the mammals in the middle. A lot of stress there. A lot of wonder. A lot of beauty. A lot of damn near perfection mixed with beware. And then you take that and you tie it to lifestyle. Staring at screens. Miscommunication with people. Having a difficult time truly expressing the whole of you. You know, we tend to learn from like school and movies. There's a deep requirement for a depth of communication that probably from the bards or the old myths, or just in general what it is to have and be of language and the vibration of language, the symbolism of us as embodiments, as species, whatever anyone thinks of that, created by Anunnaki or not, doesn't matter. It's like this thing has these very intangible requirements. As we don't meet those requirements, parts of us tend to shut down. As we become domesticated, our orca fin bends. No domesticated animal is living up to their full potential. None. I don't care how much you love your Shih Tzu. I don't care. It's not about me. It's not about the Shih Tzu. But your cat, there's a cat right here. This is a cool cat. Wonderful cat. Spends a lot of time outside, but still. His cat's dad was an inside cat for a little while. Had some health issues, ate rat poison, all types of stuff. I brought him back to health. It's awesome. And his cat's mom wanted all the other cats out, ran him out. So he lives in the yard now. You basically never see him. But he's rough and tough with afro puffs. He's amazing. He is a big daddy cat, and he's basically wild now. And he's cool, and sometimes he'll come around and get kind of close to us. But he used to sleep between my legs. Now he is living a full life. What's happening in his world and his ability to perceive and the frequency of his life, that will never ever come to a domesticated cat. That thing that he has achieved is the thing that basically everyone in society is missing. And you know it. And you can feel it. And you don't know what the hell to do about it. Because you feel like you're trapped. And so instead of looking inward to work with becoming more natural of the real you, of the growth of you, we tend to accumulate more and more information about what is wrong. There's two ways to go about it, in my opinion. You can sit with yourself and then begin to work on yourself, and that will draw you more into the natural world, and you'll just naturally end up spending more time in nature. Or you can force yourself directly into nature, and that will draw you more into yourself. That's the path. It doesn't mean don't learn numbers and letters and symbols and ancient philosophy and all these Rosicrucian techniques or whatever anybody wants. I don't care. Learn whatever you would like. But the more individuals, I'll talk to my earlier self, the more the me that feels like it's in the middle, I'd say not as much anymore, but the old me, sees answers, but then sees more problems. That guy is unaware that even though he has the knowledge of maybe some spiritual things or even really honed in on the knowledge of manifesting or honed in on 15 years of research of every layer of geopolitical operations. What's actually happening is he's putting his energy into seeing and feeling and receiving, seeing, feeling, and then receiving. So then receiving and ending up seeing more of, and then feeling more and receiving more of that which he doesn't want. He knows his enemy so well. It has been perfectly concocted for him, by him, according to where he put his attention. I researched the day for 10, no kidding, about 15 years. I would say less than that because I kind of stopped doing it a long time ago. But um, yeah, it's been about 15 years now. So for about 10 years, 8, 10 years, like full hog. I mean, I kind of knew everything about everything. And it made my life worse. And I saw and saw and saw more of it and everywhere and everything I did. Not like a crazy person, but just it's like I see the trick in the game and everything. Maybe by nature, from the author's perspective, but also, once you are aware of certain tricks or certain falsities beyond the veil, and then everyone around you is participating in and just standard operation kind of social mind control stuff. Well, it's pretty easy for you to see. Come on, and you don't say anything about it. It's like, but those individuals didn't see more of it in their life because they weren't paying attention to it. Even if I wasn't saying anything, I still couldn't help myself. I'd paid attention to it, and so it was almost like I was telling myself, "I'm very, 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 very well informed. This is good." But I was like so overly informed. I had enough in like 3 years, and then there's another 5, 6, 7 years, and then on and off for a while after that. So I stopped. I was seeing it in my life. I was receiving the information back in my life. What you focus on, you get more of. What you fear, you feed. What you pay attention to grows. You are divine, limitless spirit energy. If you want to look at what in every way is wrong with everything, you're going to see more of that. That's how this place works, pal. It's how it works. Or it's part of the game. And so that in itself can feel like a little bit of a trap, like a a spinning wheel at a fair that sticks you through the wall. You just keep seeing the same thing over and over and over. Can't get off. But it's not that. It's that if you perceive it that as in that manner, because you are that powerful. But what's really going on here? This has been long, but I'll try to sum it up. What's really going on here is it's a Ferris wheel. And anytime you want, you can get off. You go sit in nature, or you go sit with yourself, or best case scenario, you go sit with yourself in nature. Go sit with nature as your real self, the awareness. All of those issues, all of that implication of modern mind slavery, all the governmental and, spooky, they have a plan for this and this and this, they're coming for our kids, all that stuff is an attachment of information offered via the collective unconscious neural network. When you separate yourself from that, you can see that. It's not like a hologram shows up and you're like, I see it. No. You can see within yourself when you stop taking information in and you're not connected to 20 other individuals on a daily basis who are bombarding you with their aura, and they are connected to all the information they're taking in. So you're placating them basically. You want to know yourself? Sit with yourself. You want to know how this place works? Ask yourself. You want to heal yourself? Go within. Allow yourself. You want to talk to God? Talk to yourself. Ask yourself if would it be okay if I started to talk to God? Would it be okay if God started to talk to me? Talk to yourself. Talk to your body. Your body's listening to you. Your body is you, but you are not your body. Nobody's rooting for you more than your body. Think about how excited a an, an energy would be to have a divine spirit embody it. Your body loves you, and you love your body. And the issue we have is we treat it like it's us, and then we don't like ourselves on some silly reason because we received information from a collective unconscious that said, don't be your real self, you're not worthy. And we have these fears that are embedded in us that we're supposed to address and overcome here, but we never do that because we're just doing what the collective unconscious tells us all the time. And that's just a Ferris wheel of information coming in from smaller collective unconsciouses who aren't bad, they're just doing their job. Stick with me. And so we just constantly think, just getting along, just getting along, just a mammal in the forest with a bunch of other mammals. Shit's spooky out here. It's probably panthers. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. My body's like, it hates me. My spirit hates me. The body starts to shut down. All types of weird stuff. Body doesn't feel good. So not the awareness, not the author, not the actor, but the shut down audience of us looks at screens and eats terrible shit. Or causes ourselves to have some type of so called disease. And then we take whatever anyone wants to classify pills as. Now, I'm not upset at any of this, but that's how it goes here. until one decides, nah, fuck it if I die. Fuck it if I'm poor. Fuck it if I lose my family. Fuck it if I lose my friends. Fuck it if I lose this entire life. Like everything I think I was ever going to get or everything I ever wanted. If I don't dedicate myself and become the real me, all that shit is shambles anyway. Living somebody else's life for no reason. There's no reason at the end of it. It doesn't mean life is pointless. It means you've been sold goods that are supposed to provide you the feedback of having that moment of saying, fuck it, I'm going to be me. That's what it's supposed to do. The collective unconscious is supposed to give you the information. Well, it's not always repetition of fear. It's just in our age it is. But it's supposed to give you the information where at some point you go, like that movie, I'm fed up and I'm not having it anymore. I'm mad as hell. And I'm not taking it anymore. But, excuse me, forget what that movie is, Network or something else. Um, you have to comprehend that that guy's not talking to the screen. He's not talking to his neighbors. He's talking to himself. Just like this is coming out because I'm talking to you. But in reality, not because I'm here by myself, but in reality, I'm literally talking to myself. Not physically. It's every conversation is one with self. Every argument is one with self. Be that before you start speaking, in the midst of you saying something, or 10 years later when it dawns on you, everything you say is for you. Your words are for you. Your actions are for everybody else. So the more that we are informed in whatever level, talking about scientific breakthroughs, whatever it is that we feel like is the right thing to be informed about. And the more that it's fed by the collective unconscious of what the more that's fed by the collective unconscious, the more that will feed a limited version of your self-image, which is a hard thing to break because you're constantly accepting that there are other things better and above you, and that keeps you from completely dedicating yourself to working with this magical realm. So you're a little bit not completely devoted to your end destination. And at the same time, you're striving to build your awareness or to get out of whatever entrapment you may feel. So, you know, it's not a sign. There is no devil, okay? It's in your head. But it is that flip, that inversion. It's it's the same thing as the coin. All of these extremely scary, frustrating, overwhelming scenarios seem like they are dead ends, seem like there's something we must fight against, seem like they are the so clear thing on a platter we can show to everybody else. But in reality, the only thing it is the same thing that everything is always, forever, in all lives. It's an offering to you from an opportunity for you to take in an awareness and then better yourself. Usually it's about growing past something that's limiting you, releasing. My suggestion to the middle me, that me in the middle there, is in order, excuse me, in order, connect with love. I mean, the singular one love, the creator, the creation, creative general principle, the all, the beyond, the it, the is, what most call God, although I perceive that there's many energies called gods, and that um, the real you is of the singular one love, just as those gods are, and that you are perfect. So connect with that one love. Forgive everything. Forgive yourself, which is the hardest part. And you just it just naturally lets it go. It's all gone. You just connect it with love. And then you ask whatever it is that you feel you should ask. And you listen to purely just your heart and allow the imagination of your heart to offer you the one thing. Asking you shall receive, but be specific and genuine with your inquiry of your heart. You don't need leadership. You don't need a way. You need to have the right questions and listen to your heart. The answer's already there. Then, intention on what you receive, attention on your intention. Listen to your belly. That's your pivot and rudder. No reaction. Just listen. And then friction with your body. Go now. That's how you get to the destination that you see as from the eagle eye above. Where can you go? You can go anywhere. You're creating this thing. It's real hard to get there from within the non-stop pool of collective unconscious. Nothing wrong with collective unconscious. It's just of a frequency that is going to enforce a certain pattern on you, a certain pattern of repetition of fear and safety. Stay here, I got it, don't be the real you. Wait, we'll take care of it. Wait, be good, stay. Here's more. You want to be the real you got to get the hell out of there. Not run, not be scared. Go sit under a tree. Go sit on your bed and imagine you're under a tree. And go in here. Prima voltus interiorum. First look within. Start with your heart. It can get in here. And that's where you're like, they, all these problems where I started. It's just information that you received that you thought was tantalizing and you just start with the heart. 1, 2, 3 in the belly, 4 with the hands. That's the proper order of living. You can do anything. Watch yourself from the eagle's eye. Watch how fast you move when you do things in that order 1, 2, 3, 4. When you hold what's in your heart. When you pay attention with your body as the snake very acutely at the very bottom level. You keep your heart aware of the eagle destination. Keep it simple. The more information you put in about all the things that are wrong everywhere, the more complicated it makes things for you because you're like, well, now I have 5,000 ways I can't get there. Well, everything seems like a wall. You don't even know where you're going anymore. All that stuff is literally of the frequency of information coming into the collective unconscious. Move to another frequency. Can't get there from here. Can't get there from here. I tried. Don't work. This is how you get there. 1, 2, 3, 4. No reason to fight anything. No reason to do anything. Except for be the real you. I love you. Prima Voltus Interior.